So I was just hearing someone talking about transcending the cravings and letting them go and doing spiritual work and receiving negative energy attacks and wanting to end the experience. And just you've had enough experience. That's enough now. Time to move on. Um, Wonderful questions. Yes. As you start cutting off all um, the usual things the ego indulge in, food cravings, sex cravings, um, money, greed, pride, um, wanting to get payoff from the world, you probably what's remaining will probably be very heightened. So it could end up that you just end up, you stop the drugs, the alcohol, and the sex parties. And so all that's left is suddenly your food becomes very interesting. So I'm in a 12-step program, a 15 years abstinent. And it's this, I mean, Hawkins has got great video. I mean, but the way I do it, he didn't actually say this, is I just did try to for a long time focus on very bland food, which is healthy. So I'm not, food, I mean, foods which are classed as like drugs for me, class A drugs would be sugary donuts or cakes or something like that, or biscuits. So those give me like a drug-like effect. So definitely all those are off the menu. Bland things, boiled broccoli, boiled chicken, so a couple of slices of wholemeal bread or boiled whole grain rice. There's nothing addictive in that. It sustains the body. Maybe a couple of spoons of olive oil. And it sustains the body. It's very healthy, but there's no sort of drug effect from it. So yeah, so what happens then is all your cravings come up. No, no, I'd rather have a donut instead. And you go through withdrawal, like drug addiction withdrawal, which you learn in 12-step fellowships. So you just have to apply spiritual tools until you're through all the cravings and you no longer want donuts or sugar. You're very happy just having the food is more like a thing of neutrality, really. It doesn't stop you from the presence of life. It's not something you look forward to. Yeah, you're not being run by, oh, I need to run to the supermarket to buy a bag of donuts because I'm ravenous. So you just keep, I think Hawkins is in a beautiful way. Oh, I want a donut now. Nope, I'm not going to have a donut. I'm going to lie in bed and feel the cravings out until they're completely gone. And then you do that, and if they come back, lie down, or you can use 12-step tools, prayer, meditation, outreach, until you no longer want. You'd be happy if you never had another donut again. I haven't eaten a donut for, I don't know, 15, 20 years. And yeah, do I really want a donut? No, no, I'm not interested. They don't come into my head any longer. So you transcend the craving for donuts. Of course, if I carried on eating donuts when I wanted them, I had the craving for them, I'd still be in the addiction for donuts. So you do that with anything, whether it's food, sex, money, or whatever. For example, I can't stop spending money on Amazon. Okay, let me go on Amazon and buy something, anything. No, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to lie down in bed until the craving to buy something, anything on Amazon goes away. That's how you do it. And funnily enough, if you do it with cravings to spend money, you end up becoming quite rich. If anyone wants to become rich, there's a free tip from me. And I thought that's quite funny. But anyway, okay. The attacks. Yes, the attack. I try not to shoot too many videos on the attacks. You don't have to worry about the Luciferic and the satanic attacks. I don't like talking about it on videos because it's not something I'd want to talk too much about. Hawkins does vaguely mention it. If you become a very serious student and are committed to Hawkins' work and the highest levels of enlightenment, it's usually around the high 500s where you go into the mystical energy fields where the more esoteric attacks start to come to interfere with you. And Yeah. So these attacks, so as Hawkins has mentioned, you can get luciferic attacks and you can get satanic attacks, and there are various other energy attacks you can get. Um, and they can manifest in multiple ways, energetic or by people being taken over to be used as emissaries against you for temptation and various other things. So they can also manifest in all kinds of esoteric situations and contexts that arise, and also just energy attacks, horrific illnesses and horrific feelings of illness or disconnection suddenly are visited upon you as you're trying to do high spiritual work. So that's a field I don't like to talk too much about for everybody. I'll keep that mainly for advanced students. But yes. Oh yes. So what I'll say on this video, keep it light-hearted. No, it's a bit heavy. But if you're doing very advanced practice, there are energies. They don't really care if you're not into advanced spiritual practice because you're not really worth their while. But once you become seriously committed, they'll come out to pull you out because now you're becoming someone in the world of high light and doing a lot of good of undoing the work of the darkness that is in this world. So they will suddenly take offense to you trying to be a beacon of light in this world and will come out. So while you're not doing too much spiritual work, they tend to leave you alone. So most people don't have to worry about it. So yes, I'll probably shoot some of those advanced videos soon, especially in my London groups for people who attend the London Sunday groups in person and want to be more dedicated to get to the more advanced levels of enlightenment. Okay, so yes, I've addressed it, food cravings and starting to get attacks wanting to end the experience. Yes, for anyone who's a Hawkins student, ego death is the end of the road. It is in fact, and I'm going to shoot a lot of videos, these advanced videos for the death of the ego. It normally would terrify the general masses to be hearing this. The death of the experiencer, the death of the wanting to carry on the dream of separation, and the huge terror it will bring up. You mean my ego will cease to exist? Yes, I do mean that. And I have to give up the payoff of being separate forever. Yes, that's at the end. If you want enlightenment, high enlightenment, you have to give it up. The wanting to continue the separate me, and for that to continue to existing, and that will eventually lead to the experiencer and to letting go, being willing for that to die. So if you want it's very auspicious. If you want the end of the experience, like I've had enough of all this suffering and lifetimes of duality and separation, then that's very, what should I say, very inspirational. It means that you have what it takes now for the highest levels of enlightenment to put your experience and that craving to continue the separate ego life on the chopping block. So that's great, and I'll be shooting some advanced videos on that, and where I'll be talking about Hawkins' cryptic messages on the samurai and how he was able to go through, learning through going through extreme circumstances to be able to have the capacity to put to go for the final runway and put the ego's existence on the chopping block for enlightenment, which is the most advanced end stages of enlightenment. So very exciting stuff, especially if you want the highest levels of enlightenment and are ready to do it and make that level of high commitment. So yes, for anyone who wants to end the experience, that's actually very auspicious. You actually want enlightenment, and yeah, probably the ego's days aren't going to stick around that much longer, God willing. If it be God's will, I should say. And but God bless anyone who wants to be enlightened. They are the biggest blessings for us all. So God bless them. And I'll stop there. Let me press the stop button.